live from Las Vegas, Sin City, Nevada. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What is going on? Robin, Moy, Jason, Tim, Mike, Frederick, Nancy, Ariel, and everyone else from all around the world. Jill, how are you? Philip Williams says, I work cheap. How you doing, buddy? Jacob, how's it going, man? Hope everyone in the world is going great. Some interesting news, some interesting discussion. Told you the markets will be a little bit choppy. And yeah, some exciting days. Man, earlier in the day, I was like, wow, it's so cool. All this green profitable P&L. And then like 9 minutes later, wow, no. It depends, obviously, what account you're looking at. Long terms, obviously, there's all some swings. Day trading was good today, though. I day trade well. Pretty proud of myself overall. AYX did fine. Up on the day. Obviously, some swings are going to have some weird fluctuations, but we'll talk about it and shouldn't stress out anyone too much. So let's go ahead and dive in to what we got. These are the E-minis, and E-minis is this is the S&P 500 ETF. So big picture, I would really kind of expect some trade down. I don't think the Trump tweet news about the whole stimulus thing is a great thing, personally. Fighting with some of the other parties, and again, not a political statement. I'm really not a political person, at least this spectrum of my life. I just don't think it's good for the markets as far as going higher. Now, again, I think it makes a lot of sense for us to do one of these where we pull down a little bit lower and then maybe bounce. That again still makes tons and tons of sense to me. If a deal is reached or an agreement is reached, it'll be up as fast as it was down today. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'll be watching for and waiting for. So, if we come over to the SPY, type in a 4. If I talked about yesterday that I'm staying in my hedges with the inverse ETFs, right? So I'm staying in those. I'm just going to be in those for a while. The broader market, right? We could easily fill this gap at some point. It might even be tomorrow. We might gap down. We might trade down. Tomorrow could be pretty bloody. Maybe. And then again, we probably most likely bounce is my assumption. Now, could this be a lower high and the market goes to zero and this is the all-time high and panic as you know it, blood in the streets, prepare for doomsday? Probably not. So I don't think so. I think it's just gonna be like a normal thing, folks, at this point. And some normal fluctuations. We told you guys, I mentioned October is gonna be a little choppy. Here's the cues, right? So we're just kind of going sideways, hanging out, doing our thing. Dow Jones, right? Nice gap up, filling the gap, retesting, and letting it again just chop around, do its thing for a bit. I'll just bite it easy. I probably will play some futures tonight, though, just to see what they do. I got a lot of extra time on my hands today, so we'll see what happens. Pablo says, March made my skin thick. Yeah. Yep, I can respect that. And I'm good, man. Again, we get a little bit of a pullback, whatever size it is. It wouldn't surprise me. Again, if we pull back 5-6% and come all the way back down. Oh boy. I didn't think I had that open still. Give me 1 second. Don't know why I'm getting yelled at. But yeah, it really wasn't that bad of a day. I'm still nicely profitable on the day. Obviously, it's not fully locked in, but I was able to realize some positions for sure on the gains. So it wasn't as bad as it feels out there. I mean, some trades were good. Some trades were okay. Some trades were really nice. And again, it just takes one really, really good trade for everything to work out. And we'll talk about that one trade. We'll talk about some of the other trades. Today is Tech Giant Tuesday. It's going to be a slam pack day. Let's get into it and talk about what we got. Let me close down my British guy before he starts yelling at me again. I don't think I need anything open for that right now. Ask Jeeves. That's right. All right. Close down these accounts for right now. Brandon says it's true. March was like trading in a raft made of palm trees in 100-foot waves. This is a light rain. Oh man, bro, I don't even know if there's precipitation coming down. This is like there's a cloud off in the distance. You know, like this was a breeze. This was like the best. This was amazing. And this guy, yeah, it was a pretty bear candle. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. Last few bear candles, we got some pretty big pops right after it. This is one of the bigger ones that we've had recently, but I think it's not that big of a deal. Again, we'll see. But hey, have some hedges, right? Sell some calls. Buy if you want to buy some puts. Buy some puts. If you want to hedge with some inverse ETFs, it's going to be choppy. Day trading is going to be fun. Day trading was really nice today. At least I feel so. I feel that way. I think that most traders in the trading room did okay in day trades today. It wasn't anything horrifically bad by any means. No one was just getting punched in the face. I normally know that because if I'm just getting absolutely murdered, then I know other traders are getting murdered and I feel a little bit worse. But if I'm trading well and being patient, being calm and reserved and taking good trades, most people are doing that as well. At least when I'm, in the morning room. Okay. So anyway, let's dive into what we're going to look at. Page says, yes. Good day. Very good day. WB Weibo. So Weibo is working on breaking out. We've been keeping an eye on this one for the last 2-3 months. And we finally broke out this little consolidation pattern. So I do think Weibo could be a little bit of a limit buy swing trade type of an opportunity. I don't know if it's going to fully recover down here or not, but don't know anything about the company specifically as far as fundamentally is concerned. But I do like a pullback into this area. That'd be really nice. I don't know how long it's going to take, and I won't specifically wait forever for that to happen. What I'm going to do is start creating the plan and then come back to it later, and that'll be that. So beautiful. That's Weibo. Simple as that. GDRX, Goodrix Holdings. Good old Goodrix. Not caring about the market. New IPO. Phenomenal breakout right here. Great retest on October 2nd. Who can I blame on this one for me missing this trade? Philip Williams, my new assistant. Can I blame him? I didn't even see this chart. This is the first time I'm looking at this IPO. Really good breakout there. I could have taken that. I feel like I could have gotten in on that candle. Really nice retest. Good little wave forward. Nice morning star reversal pattern. Yeah, I like it. Again, remember, you can swing trade on any time frame. Any time frame. It doesn't have to be crazy difficult. I know it takes forever for us to remember, but just something to keep in mind. It's all about risk mitigation and controlling your profits. So again, just imagine that you're watching GDRX, and you did some kind of scan, or you're looking at the chart and you saw this candle pattern. Type in a 1. Let me get 100 ones in the chat pane. Does everyone know what that candle is and how to play it? And that goes all the way back to the original beginners classes. That's like the OG. That's day one, says Sammy. So when you're looking at this trade, again, I didn't take this trade. This is all hypothetical, but I can see that we had a one white soldier in the past and we went higher. So at the close of market, I mean, way back here, once this candle closed, it would have been possible for you to say, okay, let me get in with the entry there and a stop there with any size R that you want. Whatever type of risk, whatever type of exposure you want to make, you could do a scan, new IPOs. You could do a scan of hourly gaps. You could just look through a nice list of newer stocks that are in uptrends. You could look through whatever you want. And then poof, there's the filling of the trade. And we go to where we are today, and you sell today, lock in an R, 1.3 Rs, and that's all you have to do for the whole month. You could just take this one trade. I mean, again, if your risk is big enough, if you're advanced enough, on 1,000 shares, that would have been a $3,000 risk, and you would have made $6,000 ish on the trade. One trade, team, 1,000 shares, toast, you're done. Good to go. 6 grand out the door. Tax, tag, and title. Again, the whole trading stuff, it's as hard or as easy as you want to make it out to be. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I think we got to keep an eye on this one because it could just do it again. You could absolutely do it again. I'll start planning and I'll come back and look at it again tomorrow. So GDRX, for me, I have to plan a swing trade 18 hours in advance. It's just one of my rules. Big C, Big Commerce Holdings, get wrecked. So Leah sold a covered call yesterday for October. That covered call definitely kind of evaporated a little bit today. I'm keeping an eye on this one. I kind of like the overall trend. Overall trend looks kind of cool. I say overall trend, sorry. The trend for the last like 10 days. Letting the pressure kind of build. It looks a little different than the market, but not a lot. Again, Leah has some shares. She has a covered call. She's just sitting around letting it do its thing. And that's Big Commerce. That's what we got. BIGC. Okay, AMD. Now, AMD was a really intriguing little one today. I did hit a limit on some calls at 18 today. This giant blue line is a resistance, right? We went from a support all the way up to resistance. That's a pretty big move in a week on AMD, 18% and some change. So some of those options, some of my leaps were up about 30%, which around that time is where I like to lock in some gains. So I now have 2 of these. And I'll keep an eye on it, see if I can rebuy or just wait for a breakout. These put sales, Philip, you out of those? I'm sure you're out of those. Probably bought back yesterday or something. So you let me know. Otherwise, AMD just really trading sideways, add a little bit of a resistance. Terry says, I made a bid off your trade, Jeremy. Thank you. Yeah, man, you're welcome. 0.2 hours, never a bad thing. And Philip says he's out. All right, gorgeous. Yeah, and AMD, this one had a pretty decent little day trade fluctuation today. This is the hammer that really caught my eye midday. And again, the cool part about day trading, folks, did you know that you can go intraday and study 5-minute candles and still get swing trade sentiment burned into your brain? Do you guys know that? It works the same way. So you can go in and look at 5-minute candles and practice, pretend that this is a daily chart. You know, pretend that each one of these candles is a full day. How would you trade this stock? What would you do if this whole thing was a day? Right? If this was a daily chart with the perfect hammer candle right here, and you don't know that this is a 5-minute chart, because I got a lot of traders who mentioned that they're kind of annoyed that I zoom into intraday time frames in the swing trading class. The reason I do that is to help burn these patterns into your brain, right? These patterns, they work on any time frame. So when I see a hammer like this that is really nice, you know, we're bouncing, we came down, we came up, we made a new low, nice lower shadow. The low of this candle is identical to the shaved bottom of this candle. I'm expecting one of 2 things. I'm expecting this to some degree, or I'm expecting this to some degree. Either way, I'm expecting it to go higher. Type in a 4 if you think this pattern will play out also on a swing level. Absolutely. And here's the cool part. If you see this pattern at some point in your future, do you think you can look at a 5-minute chart and the 5-minute chart will tell you how many days it would take for that daily chart to play out? What do you guys think? Yeah, of course. It would tell you how many days. That type in a 1 if that's an aha to some people. Okay, because again, when you're learning the 5-minute, however many minutes it takes for that pattern to play out on a 5-minute time frame, that's how many it would take on a daily chart. So if we play this trade, I'm getting out right here. How many days would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it'd be like a month and a half. And that would be is that a new S curve? Right? Yes, it is. Is that a new high? Yes, it is. Is that a bounce? Yes, it is. Are you up around 2 Rs? Yes, it is. Should you hold for 100? You can, up to you, but Sometimes about trading is about locking in the gains, taking it while you have it, and then not losing more than what you just made. So locking in that gain. And then of course, during this day trade, obviously you got that happening, and that was some Trump stuff. But the ironic part is, isn't it weird how news always comes out at the top of an S curve? Isn't that just strange? Is it me? Am I the one that thinks that's weird? I'm the one that thinks, okay, got it. It's just me. Good to know. I'm glad to know that I'm by myself on that. I just always find it strange that right when it has this new high, new breakout, new bull candle at the top of an S curve after we're already selling is when a lot of news comes out and then it goes lower. So all something to keep in mind. And Jacob says, did you get into those calls today? I didn't hear the first time. Did you get into those calls today? Which calls is that, Jacob? Jacob says AMD. I got out of some calls today. Yes, that is correct. Yep. So I had 5. I now have 2. I sold 3 of those at either $18 or $19. I have to check. But they were up 30% from where I bought them. So one of my plans is if I'm in a leap, you guys all know that rule. If I'm in a leap and it goes up 30% in less than 30 days, I will sell it. So anyway, that's my thoughts on AMD. Now, if it trades back down to 71.60, what do you guys think? Buy some again? Yup. If it pulls back down to here, look to go long again. What if it doesn't bounce? Sorry. What if it does bounce? Hooray. What if it doesn't get down there? Then play the breakout. I'll say that 2 times. What if it doesn't get down to 70.16? Then play the breakout. What if it breaks above this resistance right here? Good. That's the breakout. Awesome. Okay. AMD done. Thanks. Sufficiently. Next on the list, Unity Software. So Unity Software has itself a cute little candle pattern. High wave candle, sorry, not high wave, shooting star candle followed by an inside candle followed by a level of a bearish candle. That one has a shaved top, which is kind of cool. And Unity, I do not have any of this one yet. I would like to, and I think a few traders are looking at getting in. I am one of those traders. A few other people are looking at getting in, ironically enough, down here at the IPO lows. How crazy is that? By crazy, I mean brilliant. So what I'm thinking is to play the breakout. This one has pretty good volume, right? Yeah. 1 million-ish shares. It should. I thought it would be more liquid than that. I like this in case we get some really strong buying. That'd be the breakout of 2 strong bull candles in a row. Now, since this is a really new IPO and I have no idea what it would do, I'd pretty much just set my target. I'd set up an OCO and just kind of let that one do its thing. So let's make magic on Unity. New official swing trade. All right, and we have some swings. I thought some were going to be hedges, aka silver, but turns out not yet. Unity 86.23, 81.19. Shares I'm fine with. I think it's a good setup. Based on a retest gap, open is not set up yet or triggered yet, and that pretty much be it. All right, dope sauce money. Let's get it. Next on the list, work. Let me see your work. So congrats to Amy, Jason. There's a few other traders, Danny, I think Brandon, a few other people are in work with different positions. I don't have any position in it right now. It's just going to take some time to do a lot of nothing. Again, if you're accumulating this one, you're just buying 10 shares a month or 10 shares a week or something, that's fine. Pablo says he has 100 shares at 24.76. Wow, Pablo. When did you turn into like a Wizard of Oz, the Wizard of Argentina? Pablo just keeps getting luckier and luckier. Well, hey, man, that was a good trade. Proud of you. When you typed in the numbers, I was like, did it even get that low? Where's 24.76? I was looking at this. Like, where in the world? So Pablo gets in here pretty much on Slack with great luck, as sometimes they say. And the gap is filled. That was really, and this is in essence best case scenario. You did not want Slack to take out this candle. I still think the data on this company is incredible. I mean, the amount of data it's storing is amazing. Here's where Slack goes higher. You guys ready? Now, this is just my thought. I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm just saying this is what I think. If Slack decreases the cost of its premium services and makes it not monthly, but it makes like a one-time payment, this thing goes through the window. Through the roof, goes to the window, goes to the window to the roof, and then through the roof. It goes high. And with Slack, I would get Slack Premium. And yes, I'm a little bit of a cheapskate on some things. I hope you guys know to get Slack Premium is like 30 grand a month. I'm not exaggerating. 30 grando, like for RLT. Like it's not free. That's for sure. Jonathan says they have high churn because of how customer friendly their billing model is. It's nuts. Yeah, it sucks. And there's no real specific need, although there are some cool things that people like Jonathan Wage and Matt DeLong can do because they actually know and have useful skills and can create things. Ron says you can pay that from your checking account. I can. It's just, I just don't know if I need to necessarily. It's like 30 grand a month. Yeah. Jason says it sucks as a productivity platform. Oh man, I mean, that Slack easily takes up like 47 hours of my day. Easily. So yeah, I agree with Jonathan. If they ever change that model, this thing goes bananas. Even if they just decrease it. So we'll find out. We'll find out. I do like the free service. Free service is good. The data is really nice. I like how useful it is. But right now, if you're in it, it's just going to be choppy. Lucian says no software is worth 30K a month. Not for the size of RLT. I would agree with that statement. We're still a little small. Okay, so Nordstrom. Yep, trying to call the bottom on JWN. And I think I'm game with that. I think I want to try to pick some bottoms on some absolute garbage companies to see if they can bounce. I think Nordstrom's going to be one of those guys. Now, if you don't want to do this trade because it goes against your plan, like if you have a plan that says I can't try to pick the bottom or I don't want to try to get in as exactly as low as possible and so on and so forth, I'm totally game with that. It does match 3 of my criteria, has a good double bottom, has some good gaps, and it made a nice trap below here. So it works for me as a quick trade, new official swing trade. And 10/6/2020. Probably gonna be setting up all kinds of trades today. And some of them might be bullish, some of them might be bearish. If they work, it'll be great. If they don't work, ooh. Okay, open, got it. So Nordstrom, noted. Alibaba, BABA was tearing up the charts today. Looking really good. Bethune says, usually, do you recommend to put in the orders during market hours or at any time? Does it matter how? For swing trades, haven't placed any swing trades until after hours. Good question, man. Personally, swing trading is one of the easiest things in the world to do. It's really not hard. In my opinion, find some good trades that are going, find some good stocks that are making higher highs, higher lows, and a good trend that you understand to make money and kind of buy some and then hold it for a little bit with a good stop in place. Like that's really swing trading in essence. I could make, honestly, I mean, not bragging, probably 10 hours a month with $100,000 account, spending maybe 3 hours of work a week, maybe. Just looking at good charts, placing some trades, being in, having a stop, and moving on. So to answer your question, Mithun, I think, man, you could just place them after hours. That's what I do. Right? The market's closed right now, at least here in the US. And after I do all these trades, I'll sit up and I'll just set up my trades. I'll do an OC order. I will look at them in the morning just in case the market's down 7%, and then I'll cancel the orders. If I want an order to trigger post-market, or pre-market, I should say. Good till cancel plus EXT. Those are limit sells to lock in gains. And those are limit buys for investing, like long-term buy low, sell high kind of things. Philip Williams says, are you saying you can increase your net worth in 2 hours a week? Yeah. Yeah. And again, it doesn't really require that much time. It really doesn't. Like, what if you just had like 100 shares of BABA? If that was all you did, let's just hypothetically say that you did absolutely nothing else with your life as far as trading is concerned. Since, let's say, a close above a very, very obvious bearish candle. Bear candle, gap and go. Here's a close above it on that day. And let's say anywhere in the orange circle, you bought 100 shares. And that's all you did. How much would you guys be up? You guys want to do the math for me? So you bought 257 and it's 292. $40 a share. Anybody? Tyler and Lucian and Nancy both say 4,000. Are you sure? Are you sure that's the math? Is that correct? Now, does it take a $100,000 account to do that trade? No. Could you also buy a leap? Could you be in a leap on that trade and just make the exact same amount of money with even less risk on the table? So, I mean, it is that simple. It really is. Again, you do need some study time for sure. Bearish volume, gap down, close above, bullish trend. Type in a 9 if you guys know I've been bullish on BABA pretty much forever. Every time I look at it, that's my analysis. So that's it. Like, that could be the trade. That could be all you do. And the really crazy part is you don't even need that much money to do that. If you had $15,000 in a margin account, you could have done that trade with shares. And you could have done $15,000 in a cash account. You could have done this options trade with even less than that. How cool is that? So again, it's not that hard, team. Don't let it scare you. The market's not that hard. So again, what could be a trade that you do on, this could be it on BABA. This could be all you do. 100 shares at 2089.99. And then it's BABA. So either use protective puts or be in it for a while and look to sell it up in here somewhere. That'll pretty much be it. Trend is bullish. It's BABA. Buy the dip. All right, let's go look at Progeny, PGNY. Progenius. So Progenius, aka Progeny, Matt had an options trade on this one, got out for a small gain. That was a good trade. And Progeny is a choppy monster. So if we're looking at the difference between BABA and Progeny, do we have any idea what Progeny does? I mean, for the most part, most of us here, do we know what it does? Some of us know, but Pablo knows. Does anyone else know what they do? Okay, so most of you have no clue. I have a general idea, but nothing special. So would I buy a large position of Progeny and just leave it alone in this chart with this stock, with this trend? Nope. No, I would not. Now, could I swing trade this one and just have like a limit buy, stop loss, and target, and then just have an R and walk away? Yep, I could do that. But I'm not going to just like buy it kind of like a BABA position, just relatively hold it until it goes higher. I won't do that. But a swing trade, buying it off of this hammer down here, right there. Nice little hammer, class 1 with a stop loss here. It's really all you need. So if you want to do a trade on Progeny, if you request it, that's the one I would do. Just like that. Easy day. All right, next on the list, plug it in, plug it in. My sister is in plug. It took me 32 and a half years to get my sister to trade. Realistically, it took me like 12 years, but you guys know what I get. Finally getting in, and she got in on plug. Hey, don't ask me. She's still my, I have no idea. I'm like, plug? Of all the stocks I sent you to choose from, you chose plug? I don't even think I had that on the list. You know, one of those text messages like, hey, what should I buy? And I sent some. And plug was it? All right. I'd have to go back and check that text message. I don't think it was on the list. Anyway, some people did very well recently on plug. So congrats, great job. And really, really nice trend overall. Things look really pretty. I loved, this is just one of the most immaculate stocks to back trade. I know I've brought this up at least 4 dozen times. But if everyone wants to practice what a trend change looks like, type in a 7. If you want to practice what a trend change really, really looks like, go in and back trade plug from March 2019 on all time frames. I'll make you a deal. Everyone who's typing in a 7, I'm going to take a screenshot right now. All of those who typed in a 7, you all have an opportunity to win a free mentorship group paid for by me. Oh, it's too late now for all the 7s. I'm capturing the ones that did it earlier, starting with Sybil. So all those who typed in a 7, now all you have to do is go post a video or a text document or something into Slack with your findings, your information, and I will pick one of you before Thursday. I will pay for you to join a mentorship group. Sound good? So you guys and girls who typed in 7, go back trade it. Tell me your thoughts. Do it on all time frames, daily, weekly, monthly. And I'll give you a hint. Use all the moving averages. It's one of the most beautiful trend reversals I've ever seen. And I'm saying this knowing that I made literally tens of dollars, I think, on plug. Like $60. I day traded a few times. I didn't make any actual legit money doing it. And that's okay. I helped a few people make some money, but I can't be in everything. It's not a big deal for me. I know the things I'm really good at, and I know what I need to focus on. I didn't make tons and tons of money doing plug. So this is not like a promotional thing. This is just me saying, go practice it and just go see how that trend starts reversing. Really look at the volume. And I took a screenshot of everyone who typed in a 7 when I said it, and go post some stuff. And one of you guys is going to win. Get it submitted by Thursday. So you have until Thursday, the 8th of October. Starting from March 2019 on plug. And you'll find some really, really intriguing situations and things on there. But yeah, I love that trade. Love the trend. Congrats for everyone who hit a target and won money on that. Very, very proud of you. Okay, so Rocket Man, RKT, did get filled today, and we'll see if it bounces. Yesterday, I thought about lowering the entry to 21.17, so I hope we don't get stopped out. If we do, that's fine. Sometimes you're going to lose on trades. I like the setup. Wicked pair candle, made higher, kind of a little bit of a pullback. Here's the hourly. So hourly chart, hourly chart, you got the moving averages. It's kind of bouncing off of a support. We've came down to that support again. I would really prefer to be buying down here with a little bit of a lower stop. But that's okay. And if I turn the extended hours off, yeah, 2095 is really where I should be getting in. So we'll see. If I get stopped on this one, I'm gonna get back in. If I get wicked out, I have the ability to get back into this trade if I get wicked out. That, my friends, is called having a plan to not revenge trade. That's the definition between revenge trading and not revenge trading. Emily says you got 0.9 R's on the call option. Hey, I'll take it. Well done. Okay. Apple. So Apple selling off a little bit with the rest of the market to an extent. I mean, it's still retesting the neckline. I will say it every time I pull up Apple for the next few weeks. Apple will hit the 100 simple moving average. It will. I do not know when, but it's coming. So if it does this and it does this, it will come down to the 100 at some point, just letting you all know. So if it's a little choppy for the next few weeks, it's because it did this. So if you're like, how come Apple's not just going straight up and I'm making tons of money? That was your time to make money on Apple. So I'm not saying you can't make money. I'm just saying expect the rest to be a little bit sideways. It's not just going to moon Lambo again, because in case you were sleeping, Apple went up 136%. Biggest company in the world doubled again this year. Doubled in some change. And of course, we sold it all on September 2nd. That still looks really good though, doesn't it? Bam. Not bad. So anyway, yeah, give it some time to chop around. Pablo says, I heard they make pretty cool phones. They do. They make a lot of cool things. So it's just going to take a little bit. I'm not saying it can't do this. It just makes more sense to do something like that for a while and slowly churn and burn higher. So be patient if you're in bullish positions on Apple. All right, next on the list, Marriott, MAR. Marriott doesn't look bad. A little bit of a double bottom. Moving averages, long terms are starting to collapse a bit. By collapse, I mean like collapse in on each other. Weekly chart, you got a double bottom over here, right there. We've retested the neckline there. Sideways city on Marriott. Best way to play Marriott is with sideways strategies. Terry says October 15th, Apple event for the iPhone 12. I like it. Beast. Mike says it's on the 13th, sometime next week. All right, SCPL, SciPlay Corporation. Looks like a really good trend. Wow, look at this double bottom that came back in September. Unreal. I don't think I would have gotten filled on that. I don't think I would have gotten filled. Ooh, this is cool. A little nice little fun little new IPO. I wonder if my buddy Scott bought some shares of this one. This is an interesting stock. I just like the trend. Chart looks kind of cool. Bob says, of course he did. I would assume so. I would assume so. I don't know if it was a big enough IPO to catch his attention, but I mean, he has a subscription to all that stuff, so why wouldn't he? Anyway, I don't know. I figured he would. Probably could ask him. I'm sure he does. But yeah, let's come back to that one on Thursday. It just looks like the beginning of something fun. SCPL. I can dig it. Wow, I'm behind. Beyond Meat, Sergi McSurgerton. Beyond the Meat is cranking. Man, this one is just running home. Some phenomenal traps over here. Some gorgeous candle sentiment. Just some beauty of moves. And Beyond Meat, a bunch of white candles in a row. Got to 180, ladies and gentlemen, today. Congrats. Bob says, I sold my 20 shares today, half an hour risk for 1.67 Rs. Beautiful. Did everyone eat some Beyond Meat patties? I figured that was like an absolute layup insider information to buy some shares of Beyond Meat. I don't know if that was obvious or not. I was like, hey, everyone, you should buy some. Right? Come on. That was super obvious, wasn't it? Come on, everyone. You should buy some Beyond Meat sausage patties. It wasn't clear enough? I got to figure out ways to make it even more clear. You guys know that I sit around all day and just try to think of like puns to tell you guys about what to do, right? Philip Williams says, now I understand. Oh man. So, I mean, I like Beyond Meat. It's cool. I like the chart. So at this point, I mean, buy whatever dip you want. Trend looks really nice. The trend, I mean, this is going to go a little bit higher. This is a beautiful wave rotation. This is strong pattern. So plan on something like this happening over the next, at some point, few weeks, and look to buy some shares if you want of Beyond Meat on a pullback. Trend is here. Trend is here. Ron says, I actually went and tried to find some in the store. They only had 2 packs. I know, man, because people love them. They're so good. And by the way, if you're a little bit newer to real life trading, I was telling everyone to be in bullish on Beyond Meat way back here. So if you're new to RLT, don't worry. It's going to take time for you guys to cue in on some of the hints. Terry says, is it seriously good to eat? Yeah, bro, I'm being serious. It is good. Okay. Jay says, is it cheaper than real meat? No chance. Magnite, MGNI. Jay says, then why would you do it? So here's a cool thing, Jay. Some people don't eat meat. Crazy, I know, but some people are what's called vegetarian and or vegan. So if they don't eat meat and you can't eat meat, you have to not eat meat. So hey, Mike says vegan, me. Nice. The reason I laughed is because I had no idea. I think that's really cool. You beat all of the social norms, man. They're going to write stories and songs about you. Love it, Drew. I love it. Vegan is tough. To go full on, to go full veg is really, really challenging. Very challenging. So I love it, man. Super proud of you. Super proud. Definitely has some really intriguing health benefits. That is absolutely without question. Okay. It is this particular stock is working on a double bottom. Trend looks, I do like the volume on this one. I like the wave count too. This looks like a very nice 1, 2, 3. So if you're looking at a wave 4 pullback, try to snag that little dipperoonie. If you requested Magnite, sounds like a Pokemon. I don't have any position on this one. It could also be a nice breakout. It has good volume, inside candle. So if it goes higher, it looks to be a little bit bullish and played accordingly. Trend looks nice. I don't have any position on that one at all. Bed Bath & Beyond, still waiting. Still waiting. I knew this was Trap City because I had a bunch of noobs tell me to get in at 2180. Truly, I mean, everyone on Twitter was like, buy Beyond, Bed Bath & Beyond's going back to 100. And I'm thinking, why? Why is it? Why is that happening? Why is it? Why would it go to 100? It's just so hot. Look at this monthly chart. Brandon, I know, man. I'm waiting on it to go to 0 also. And maybe I'm just totally wrong about Bed Bath & Beyond. Maybe I'm just reading this customer sentiment totally incorrect. So got to wait for a pullback on this one. It got close to 0, 3.5. Went from 3.5 to 20. Good job, Bed Bath & Beyond, making that rally. I guess they went full e-commerce. Anyway, still waiting on that one. No trade on that. Square. Did Square break out yesterday? Or did they break out? Is it a breakout or a breakout? Breakout? Busted out. There we go. I was trying to remember the terminology. Yeah, this one is doing its Square thing. I have, and I feel ashamed to say this, I have no position in Square. I know. This was one of my favorite ones. And I mean, you know, September 2nd, that's when I went to cash, sold Square. And I don't even want to tell you my limit buy. If I told you guys my limit buy, you would just be really upset with me and the market. If you had to guess, take a stab in the dark. Take a quick stabberino. 133.36, where my support line was. Low of the day, 134. So no clue. And when this happened, I was like, okay, cool. It'll definitely fill. No, never did. Sad Panda making an appearance again. Exactly. So I didn't get any Square again. And I really, Methune, you're absolutely right. I really wanted off the 100 simple as well. That was the bottom of my pyramid. This is the top of my pyramid. This was the bottom of my pyramid. And I'm not in Square at all, guys. Makes me feel like a real loser. Now, Philip Williams is in Square and Lucian is in some shares on a swing trade. There's a few other people. I guess at this point, I'm just going to wait for a swing trade. Bob says, do I have FOMO? A little bit. I do. Full disclosure. So I'm going to wait for a pullback on it to see if I can get in on some Square. And if I miss the whole thing, at least I'm in Square's big sister, PayPal. So I am in PayPal. I'm still in a positive position. Long-term spread on it. I will hold this spread over earnings. And just going to wait out. I mean, Square and PayPal, pretty similar. It is high. I totally agree. It is up there. No question. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the Pay and the PAL. All right. Where am I at on this list? Square, PENN. Whew, I am horrendously behind. PENN National Gaming is on the high side. It's gone up a little bit. And I'd probably just keep holding it. Yep. If you're tiptoeing in here at the 20, I get it. It's bounced off the 20 many times. Bang, 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 bang. It's almost like a Disney song. And that's where I would, tiptoe in. Now, the reason I would tiptoe in rather than really get in is because it's moved a lot. Tons and tons. And there's a lot of volume, bullish volume near and very close to the all-time high, which makes me think that is a better setup. So if you want to buy it off the 20, do so with small size. Otherwise, that 50 EMA is where that one will probably pull back into at some points. Next on the list, Zoom. Still in my calls on Zoom and just letting that one hang out. Zoom looks good. I do like this little doji at the 10. Ironically enough, as much as the market is being weird, guess what Zoom's doing? Going higher. Zoom didn't sell off at all today. This stock just coiling to go higher. Amazing. Amazing strength. Unlike almost anything I've ever seen. Nuance Communications. Oh. Boy. So I know some traders in this one. I'm not one of them. Stay in it, I guess. Increase your stops. Keep your holding muscles alive. Let it do its thing. Nuance Communications. Stay in. Looks nice. CMDR, Computer Direct. No, I don't think I was supposed to do that one. This was supposed to be CLDR, I'm pretty sure. So CLDR actually doesn't look that bad. It's just, it is holding up off the 200 simple. And if it closes below the 200 simple, I'm going to exit some shares. I'm going to buy some puts. It shouldn't take this long for a double bottom to start playing out a little bit strongly. Now, again, it can come down to the 100 and retest it, but I'm just going to trim some shares. I'll buy some more puts, and I'll reposition down at 746. This could turn out to a nice long-term hold, even though I don't really want it to be. Double bottom, not amazing. This is a nice hammer, and technically these hammers like this can retest. So if it goes down to 928, I get it. I get it. So CLDR, it's probably going to take some time for it to do something interesting. So be patient on that one. It's not going to be sexy for a while. Sitting out some paper losses and just let them do the thing. Now, Amazon today, Amazon took a spill. Amazon took a Spilly McSpillerton. What's really interesting on this one, we talked about strong bull candle patterns. This was a strong bear candle pattern. One black crow, followed by one white soldier, followed by one black crow that triggered the first one black crow. Murder of crows on Amazon. So this thing gaps down tomorrow. I'm probably going to snag some puts to protect this bad boy because I think she's going to come down to the 100, maybe even day trade it. It doesn't look super stylistically awesome for the bulls with this close. It doesn't. Now, again, I'm glad that it's just kind of choppy, and we'll see what the rest of the market looks like. And we could gap down and just immediately fade higher tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start watching Amazon a little bit, because that was a pretty good close, I thought, on October 1st, just to get absolutely Trump getting COVIDed on the 2nd of October. Ginormous, amazing strong close yesterday, and then just right in the throat. Right in the throat. All right, so here's Googs. Google also relatively sideways. This one's going to chop around for a while. You got some, they need to break the banks, except this time it's the bigger companies, the Googles, Facebook, Amazons, Apples, Microsoft. They've gone through this a million times. I'm not saying they won't breaking them up, but how? I don't think they've really ever succeeded in that before, to my knowledge. So we will see. But yeah, I mean, in general, obviously Google's going to be tied to the market. I think it's going to be kind of choppy. It's just going to kind of bounce around, do its thing. Doesn't look super ridiculously fresh for the bulls right now. It's just going to hang out and do its thing. Facebook, same thing on Facebook. So it looks like everything's kind of gapping down post-market a little bit. Again, that could easily gap down and fade tomorrow. We'll actually probably see the E-minis trade in just a second and see how it looks. But again, we could gap down. It could get pretty bloody tomorrow, and then we could bounce. We will, of course, have to see. Time will tell. But looking at what we have on Facebook with that gap, it looks a smidge bearish. Nothing too scary. DraftKings. Now, DraftKings, on the other hand, DraftKings is ready to pull back some. So it had its run up. It made it think everyone was smart because DraftKings has kept going up, and then you got a nice reversal. New black crow yesterday. We closed below the candle today. I don't have any position in DraftKings. I'm not saying it's going to go to zero. I'm just saying expect it to pull back. That's all. So strong trend. It's doing its thing. Good volume over here. Great volume. Look to see if it can pull back into 49.57-ish. See if it can pull back into that price. 20 EMA would be the first place that I would look to start adding to DraftKings if you were looking at doing it. I don't have any position in this one. I'm probably going to wait it out for a bit, but we'll see if it can pull back, go a little bit lower before it starts bouncing, and then kind of take it over from there. So we will see. Next on the list, Tractor Supply. Super sideways. Yeah, real sideways on this one. Look to bite off the 100 if you're playing Tractor Supply. I mean, man, the strength of these moves. Tractor Supply, Deere and Company, UPS, FedEx, just kind of baffling. Are we really going to get this? I mean, we could. We could. Could we also get this tomorrow? I mean, maybe. Again, it's not super bullish for the whole no stimulus. The market's just not going to like that. I don't think. But anyway, Tractor Supply, we'll see what we get. Look for a breakout and or pull back down to the 100. Silver. So I thought silver, sometimes silver is a hedge when markets fall. Sometimes it's not. This situation looks like it won't be. I don't really know exactly how to gauge when it is and when it's not. It's kind of weird. But so, for example, over here, when the market was crashing, silver was going up, you know, and I almost thought about selling yesterday, but it was a pretty good close. We were up on it very small. But I actually still like to trade. We have tons of time on it. This could be the double bottom coming in where it throws another low and then starts to bounce. And then we catch it just right at the right time. We will see. But overall in silver, definitely it looks like it's selling with the overall market right now. MAXR held up strong. So MAXR Technology is still one of the stronger and less expensive small cap stocks out there. That has a really good trend. So if you are a newer trader, smaller account, looking at focusing on something $40 or less to trade kind of actively or be in, this one could be one of those. This is a really nice play. And at some point in the distant future, maybe November, if we pull back into here, I think that'd be really fun. If we can pull back into 2142 on MAXR. Time will tell. I'm just saying if it does, that would actually be a relatively fun pullback, I think. The angle on this trend is pretty strong. So if that ever breaks, that'll be a little bit of a warning that it might go lower. There's another trend line here. So yeah, let's watch MAXR to see what it does. But in general, it's a fun stock to trade. I really just want a lot of it at 2142. Okay, next on the list, I want to know where the gold's at. Show me the gold. So gold, pretty much same as silver. And the rest of the market, right? We bounced, didn't quite hit the 100. Thought that this could be a good hedge. Turns out it's not, at least right now. If gold goes back into the 100 simple moving average on the daily chart, maybe bounces there. Maybe it doesn't. We shall see. Gonna take a little bit of time. See if we can bounce, see what it happens, and just kind of generally flex our muscles and figure out what we get. But presently, yeah, buy a little bit of a dip on gold right now. It's just kind of hanging out. All right, Lennar Corporation, a strong blue chip. Been around forever. And if you're looking at buying at $70 is where you want to buy this one. That'd be a great spot to buy. You got to close below an all-time high wave candle yesterday. Immediate close. I think that might be a false breakout. If you want to buy some of this old resistance, new support at 79, let's call it 80. Buy a very small size, and the much, much bigger position you want to buy would be $70. So kind of wait until then. Toll Brothers, which I think is TOL. Toll Brothers, it was a day trade. So Toll Brothers, yeah. Looks to kind of be the same thing. I mean, it just made a V-shaped V rally and just immediate bang. So this one too needs a bit of a pullback before I get really excited about going long on it. It's too high. Yeah, it absolutely just scorched the earth. I missed all of this move. And yeah, let it pull back. Buy the dip. Could be a good one to play on at some point later, but not right now. XPEV. I think this is the Chinese electrical manufacturer, I believe, cars. XPEV sideways, short term. So look to buy down here, sell over here. It's a newer IPO. Buy low as you can, sell high as you can, be in and out, unless, of course, you want to be in this one long term, in which case, do as much research as you can. There's a few Chinese electrical vehicle companies out there. There's one or two. Pablo says this company makes spoons. That's right. Chinese spoons. All right. QDEL, good old QDEL. So I sold my positions in QDEL a little too early. I sold them on September 29th. This is one that wasn't profitable on September 2nd, so I didn't sell these calls. But I did sell it on the 29th. So QDEL has some really good strength. I mean, the gap is filled. So if you played the gap and you played the hammer and you played this little move, congrats. That was an easy trade to make. Very simple. Gave everyone here weeks of notice on that one. So QDEL is fully recovered, man. I mean, it broke all the way back up. Trend is really bullish. It's holding strong. It's all the way back. Pretty impressive. That pattern kind of reminds me of in phase. Yeah, what we just looked at on QDEL kind of in a way somewhat reminds me of this over here back in November. I don't know if the exact same thing's going to happen. Obviously, that would be amazing, but QDEL says K-Dog says, what's the target price? If you're in this one, I'd probably hold. It has some really good strength. So look to hold until 280. I think on QDEL. Looks nice. AMWL, American Well Corporation. We got another one. Newer on the IPO, Technology Services Internet Software. What a gap on September 23rd. Wow, town. That is what dreams are made out of. Teladoc competitor. Interesting. Very interesting. Thomas says, I found out about it yesterday. Well, thank you, Mr. Thomas Wong, for always adding and enriching our lives. Yeah, let's start keeping an eye on it. Teladoc competitor. Probably going to do some more research on this one. I'm sure we'll look at it 1 or 2 times while we're together, but Teladoc did well. This one could also do well. And I wonder if my buddy Scott is in some shares of AMWL. All right. Next on the list, Disney. So Disney looked really good at one point during the day until it didn't. By the way, this gap is about to get filled. Here she comes to save the day. So pretty much the exact same thing that happened back on May, gap filling, and then we bounce is going to start happening here. So I've been waiting on Disney to fill this gap, and looks like she's coming down the mountain. So if Disney comes down into about 116-ish, yeah, right around here, 116.73, 117-ish. That's where I'll be looking to get into some longer term calls and or shares after the gap fills. Pablo says Disney is a no-brainer after COVID is gone, right? No, if you have a long enough time horizon, yes, that is correct. On a long enough time horizon, we'll be able to make money on Disney. Yep. All right, next on the list, Micron. So Micron, just doing its thing, hanging out, gapping down, retesting. I got a 37.50 put sale for November, which I'll probably buy back at some point. That one was almost 50% off earlier today. And yeah, I mean, I like it. It looks nice. It's just going to bounce around for a bit. So you probably want to play volatility plays on Micron, right? Selling options, or just getting into something really long-term and relatively non-directional. And of course, you can always day trade it. The day trade on Micron was really nice today with this perfect hammer. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what it does. It traded right up into resistance. Good amount of selling came in on Micron, and then that was that. So Micron chilling. We looked at RKT today, and next is Regeneron and then Gilead. So Regeneron gapped up with the Trump news. This was one of the antibody cocktails that he got. Stock gapped up. It's an obvious fade. I mean, it's really one news story. That's like I don't know, Trump drinking a Monster beverage or something, you know, I mean, literally same thing. Getting one day, obvious gap fade, blue chip stock. So yeah, let it pull back, let it buy the dip. If you're playing it long term, it's breaking out of a ginormous distribution phase. Really, really big one. So 1, 2, 3, big picture wave 4 of some magnitude for a little bit longer, and then a wave 5 from here. So REGN, if you're in long enough term, you should be fine. I don't have any position in this one. But yeah, the gap could fill and just kind of bounce around and hang out from there. And then last but not least, another one that I don't have any position in, Gilead Science. Can't hang on. Had the COVID break. Everyone's like, Gilead, save us from COVID. Nope. Don't save us from COVID. Back down to support. Same spot that it struggled with before. And yes, it is at the buying zone. If you're buying it, this is where I would just buy a very small size because it's a boring stock. You had a nice run up in 2011 and that was it. Since then, it's taken a very, very, very long time to go higher. So this is just a natural consolidation. So if you are looking at playing it, maybe throw down an order down there, buy some, be quick about it. It won't be super saucy or exciting, but that is all I've got on GILD. All right, next tomorrow is Energy Wednesday, and I have Best Buy, Farfetch, Kinder Morgan, PLL. A lot of people made good money on that one today. British Petroleum, Exxon, Valero, Chevron. Oh, haven't looked at Stone Cold in a while. MGM, Can Do, Fastly, Pinduoduo, Dollar Tree, AYX, BHP, AMD, Melly, FERR, PDD, XPO, Virgin Galactic, DocuSign, Workday, Nike, The Trade Desk, and GDRX. All right, team. Cool. I'll be here same time, same place tomorrow. And until then, love life, live life, and trade it. I appreciate it. You guys rock. Goodbye.